Hey guys, it's Mike with another Gilded Guardians Spotlight video. Today we're taking a look at Zahra. She is a Solace Agility Imperial Assassin. We did get her overall power ranking up to 615,000, so that's pretty good there. She is utilizing the same gear set that I have on my Durizda. So she has attack boots and attack on the crossbow as well. So she might be a little squishy. Being an assassin, she's already going to be squishy. But we also don't have defense or HP on either of these items. We could swap those out to make her a little more durable, but looking forward to seeing how much damage she can do. Typically, assassins are really designed to kind of sneak behind enemy lines and do some damage, specifically to the back row, where their damage dealers are kind of protected by their tanks and so forth. So we're going to see how well she works as an assassin. If you take a peek at her skills, she got a single target / balance ability in her ultimate. She briefly turns invincible and attacks the nearest target 4 times. The first 3 hits deal 60% of attack as physical damage. The final hit deals 150 or 270 where we're at, and causes knockback and cannot be dodged. So that's kind of an interesting part of her kit. I don't think I've seen that anywhere else where it cannot be dodged. So that's kind of cool. That's a guaranteed knockback, assuming she doesn't kill them. Holy Spear is her second ability. It's also single target and balance. Target the enemy with the highest attack and deal 225%. We're at 300 as physical damage and teleport to them. If the attack hits, Zahra recovers up to 15% HP. So that's kind of cool. She has a little bit of self-healing in her kit, which honestly for an assassin is very helpful because they're already super squishy. So having added ability to heal or tank up a little extra damage is going to be beneficial. It is a single target, but it does hit very hard. So theoretically, this could be a one hit and out. Her passive ability is Discipline. Basic attacks recover 3% of her HP. And we're up to 5% there. So basically every time she's doing her basics, she's going to be recovering health. So she does have some survivability in her kit, which I think will be really helpful on the assassin front. And she is a Solace there, so she will be neutral affinity to the Cinder in the Great Forge. Alright, so we're in the first room of the Great Forge here. You're going to start this battle underway. We do have 2 times turned off, so we can kind of see what she's doing here. She just one-hit that guy right there. She one-hit that guy. So she's doing some pretty good damage, actually, with this ability, or just her basic. And she is pretty much topped off, so she was healing herself pretty well. Moving on to that second fight here, we're going to see if we can kind of isolate her ultimate ability when it happens. She's doing a little bit of damage there. Got a little bit of knockback. Killed that person. I think we're ready for this ultimate ability, so here we go. So in the process of hitting him 4 times and causing a knockback, she ended up just killing him, so he just died. You see those little ticks of health for every time she hits. She's getting that little tick of health, which is a percentage of her overall HP. So it could be beneficial to potentially put her in HP boots and or an HP accessory to get a little more healing out of that ability. Alright, so we are moving on to that final boss fight here. She is doing pretty well on health. I think those little ticks of health and just the things in her kit to help keep her alive has been super beneficial. She is 4. We didn't get to knockback. She just killed him. Another one down. She did take a stun there. But she does quite a bit of damage. I think we got a dodge in there somewhere. We got two more guys to get through here. She's down to 1, so 30,000 heals. So she does do a little bit of healing going on, just like it's constantly ticking up, just keeping her alive and just poking the boss to death. She is probably, I'm trying to think as far as damage goes, she's probably not quite as effective as like a Qatari, just because of the AoE ability. But she does have healing in her kit to help keep her alive, which Qatari does not have. Although while she's in the Phantom state, she is kind of invincible. So on the assassin front, I think that I would lean towards Qatari, although Zahra does do quite a bit of damage. You saw with just her basic attack, she was taking out a lot of those enemies. And then with that little bit of healing that she does, it kept her pretty comfortable the entire fight. If we jump out into the Token Trove, we can take a peek. She's valued at $1.71 currently. These numbers do always change. This kind of gives you a good gauge on where she's at. There are only 3 of her down at that price point, and then it jumps right up to $2. So she's going to be a little bit higher as far as her price point. at about the $2. I think $1.80 to $2 kind of fairly average, but she's on the higher side of average in that. I don't know, when they see these huge spike ups, I'm not sure exactly who's buying them at that price. It could be some sort of buyback situation that Gilded Guardians or Immutables doing, but it's kind of interesting. Her warrior versions here, see some elite versions down here, a couple champion versions going on down here as well. Look at this guy, Enlightened 10, Radiant 7, and they're looking for $3,500 for that champion. That is pretty impressive. $350 for the champion Zahra. Again, over time, these champions versions of characters might be super collectible, and they might be able to sell at that price point. It just kind of depends on who's collecting them and how valuable they see having that set of champion guardians going on. In order to get a champion, warrior, or elite, whenever you use your ascension seals, there is a small percent chance that it will convert your champion into one of those versions. So I recently got a warrior version of my Aquarius. I think there's about a 9% chance or so, approximately a 1% chance on the elite, and I think it's a 0.1 or a 0.01% chance to get a champion guardian. So it's really low as far as getting these guys down here, but if you ascend enough champions, you're bound to get some warriors, some elites, and so forth, and kind of get some of those collectible characters. So that is kind of fun. But I think that's what I got for you today on Zahra. I think as far as assassins go, she does pretty good work, she does pretty good damage, and she does have some survivability built into her kit, which I think will be really helpful. I think early to mid game she probably has some use cases. I think pretty quickly you're going to find better solutions to her that do more damage or more survivability. I know with Ashwin and his kit, if you can get crit rate on him, he's going to have more survivability there. Qatari's going to do more damage with summoning all of her phantoms as an AoE attack versus all the single target attack stuff that Zahra's doing here. So you'll probably move away from her pretty quickly, but she is kind of a fun champ. The assassin category is kind of a fun one to play with, and you can kind of work through gear and see about keeping them alive. But if you are able to find a solution where they balance into your team and you're keeping them alive, they are a really cool and fun way to do quite a bit of damage. Specifically attacking the enemy out of order, because you kind of have to plow through their tanks and then get all the way to their back row, whereas your assassins will typically go back there and start attacking the Darizdas and the high damage dealers in the back row. So it is kind of a cool feature to get on your team if you can make it work. But I appreciate you spending the time with me today on Zahra. I hope you found that interesting, and I look forward to seeing you next time.